All right, welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is St. Kramer with Brian the Grizzly. What is up, man?
Man, it's been a good week. I'm glad we finally here. I was waiting for Mayfair Witches to come out. I'm so happy that we were finally able to talk about this. And what the hell just happened?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like it's finally picking up. Like it's finally like I'm like, okay, this is what we should have got in episode 2. Maybe 3, but this is we're getting where we want to get. We're actually getting to the Mayfair Witches. So
Yeah.
the actual like plot of everything. Oh man, but pretty good episode. I want to say this is probably my favorite episode since the first one. Number 2, 3, and 4 didn't really capture me like the first one did.
There was a lot going on in this one. There was a whole lot, and I was confused about Sip and what was happening. And I was like, "What the fuck is happening? How did we get here?" Like we just saw him get stabbed, and him holding himself, and it's the end of the episode. And then we come back, and it's like none of that stuff happened. And they're like, we don't even know how we're. And there's okay being in the Mayfair house and going through all this falling in love stuff, and it was just really weird that was happening, and without any explanation.
Yeah, although I like when an episode starts off with like well, what's going on, I like that. What I hate is when it takes an hour for them to tell us what's happening. Luckily, this one answered it pretty quick. I think it answered it before the first commercial break. So I'm like, okay, 10, 15 minutes in, they kind of started figuring out it was Lasher or like stuff is going on. So I'm like,
the shirt is off, and then you start saying, what is that? You start seeing all of the things not healing, and seeing all that was interesting. And then here's a question, really. Lasher came out, he said everything that's happening here is what you want. You are in control of what's going on. So when she says save Sip, send him home, and he goes home, is Lasher telling her the truth? Is what we heard in the last episode the truth, that she is really in control of everything? He listens to her, or is he trying to manipulate her? We don't know the answer to that.
Yeah. Also, that's what the uncle, the rich uncle guy. I can't think of his name. Cortland. That's what he said. He goes, "Oh no, he listens to you. He's your like servant. You know what I mean? It's like it's not the other way around. So, but also Cortland, I think Lasher have a connection, but that's what I liked about this episode, because the whole time you're like, well, who's making the calls? Is it her or is it him? And the whole time you're like, well, what? Because he does some things where he's like, oh, I disapprove. I don't want you to do that. And he gets mad, but it's like, is it though? Like, are you just allowing her to think that,
or is he manipulating her? And I don't know the answer to that. It's so weird. Carlotta, seems to be doing things for the right reasons. It's just an asshole.
She's
killing people. She's trying to stab her. She's saying, I'm still gonna throw you off the balcony. There's a way out. I'm gonna throw you off the balcony. What the fuck's wrong with you, lady? She's so one-minded. Then I didn't realize that her sister is a ghost.
Yeah. Oh, that blew my mind. That was so cool. That was really cool. I did not see that coming at all. Yeah, that was interesting. It didn't change anything too much, but it does tell you, it's like, what, Carlotta, she's still a witch.
And she's not just a witch, she has a lot of power, and she's running that house. So she's still ruling that house, and that was really interesting in the whole scheme.
Yeah. So it really changed her character. Also, so on that balcony, I know we're getting into the spoilers and we're all over the place right now, but it is what it is. The balcony scene, she's being all nice, she's all talking all lovely, like, oh, it's the right thing, dearie, like, you know what to do, you have and then when Rowan realizes like, oh, hold on, you did it. Like she didn't choose to jump off the balcony. You did it.
Pushed her.
But then she switched. Like her face got like, he goes, it reminded me of like Smeagol, Golem kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're my friends. I'm gonna kill you. And it was like her voice changed, her demeanor changed, her voice, face, everything. It was like, wow, that's pretty good because it was as instantly she got called out on her BS. She was I'll do it again. It was like,
I thought she was gonna try to grab her and throw her over the balcony.
Yeah. So that she was a great actress. I thought, doing that because
as good as the actress she is, I gotta say this: Alexandra Daddario is beautiful. She is not a great actress. Oh my! No. Like the things, her faces sometimes are like,
yeah,
like it's like
that's what I said. She's just like, her eyes are huge because she has to show off those pretty blues, and then
it's almost like watching Zoolander. Like, it's like wow. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm okay with listening to someone else tell me that I'm wrong, but she just doesn't. She's not a great actress. She's just not.
No. Right now, like this episode was good because of the people around her. Sip, Lasher, Colada. What's it called? No,
Carlotta. Yeah,
Carlotta. They helped, I think, make her seem better than she is, as at least acting wise. You know what I mean? Like when the person next to you does all the acting, maybe you're like, let him run with it. I don't know.
Like she's listening to Lasher and fall into his world, and they're doing their dance. She's like, you really want to dance, and then he was like, no, you really want a piece of cake. She's like, I'm not 6. And then she takes a fork and she's like, I really do want this piece of cake. It's just like a fat kid.
Because when he first said it, she got it was like a smile. She's like, "There's cake," and she's like, "Wait a minute, I'm not a 6-year-old." Like, yes, you are. Eat that cake.
She was like, I don't even want this cake. Let me take this fork. Let's eat this cake. So
yeah.
That was very funny. But it seems like what he's doing, he is accentuating her desires. So what her desires are inside, he's it to a different level. Like he's making it even stronger and making her even stronger. So that's, I think, what his power is. Because she asked him, "What are you?" And he's like, "I really don't know." And I don't think he lied. I don't even believe that he's lied to her at all in this entire show. Like everything he said, he's probably told the truth.
More or less. Same thing with Carlotta. Like I think she told more or less the truth to Rowan. And then DC said, haven't seen the show, but I agree she's not a great actress at all. She's not. Hopefully maybe she gets better as time goes by, when she's around some of these better actors. But
I think she was better when she was 7, or 17 or whatever. She was doing those Poseidon movies.
Oh, was that her?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's definitely her.
Yeah. I mean, all I remember, I think she was in True Detective. She was Woody Harrelson's girlfriend, wife, or whatever. But
no, she was in she was definitely in that I don't know why I always forget.
Percy Jackson?
Percy Jackson, yes.
Yeah.
Yep, Percy Jackson.
Okay. I know who you're talking about now. I forgot about that. But yeah, she's not the greatest. And I think that's the issue is she's not horrible. I've seen way worse.
Yeah, no, you're wrong.
But
she's definitely prettier. She's more attractive than she is as an actress. Like she's like, it's better to look at her than actually have to deal with her acting. She's like a real life. You guys seen Big Bang Theory? She's like a real life Penny. She's definitely prettier than she is an actress.
That's funny. That's funny. But I think if we got this show before we got Interview, I don't think we would be as down on it. Because I think if this was the first one, we'd be like, "Oh, this is good. I like it." It's coming after
Interview with a Vampire was amazing. Well, everything they did was just like
Family did. Yeah, those guys were on another level of chemistry and was like knowing the characters.
It was like watching a movie. They were that great actor. I watched this TV show. I could tell it's a TV show. It's like the acting is that way, the scenes are that way. But when I was watching them, everything was so good. Everyone in that series was so good. It's hard comparing it, and I almost don't want to compare it because I mean I know why you have to, but it's in the same universe. But it's a story that we really knew. This Mayfair Witches is not a story that we all know. But I will say this: I will say that the next couple of episodes are going to have a chance to be really great, to really push the story a lot further.
Excuse me. Yeah. Watching the what's coming next kind of stuff
looks
I was
good.
Like, ooh, this is the stuff I want. This is the stuff I was interested in. Like all this like crazy witchcraft kind of stuff.
So that's what we should talk about. So Sip is in his apartment. His sister's there, who's pregnant, whatever. And he's like, I had to call my boss. They're coming, and I need you to go hide. What? You're sitting and bleeding on the floor. You need me to go hide? And he's like, yeah, they can't see you here.
Yeah, we say I'll be even in bigger trouble or something like that.
Yeah.
That was actually a really cool scene too. With the other witch doctor. Yeah, the healer or whatever. Like her taking the pain and her pulling out that knife was sick. I was like, oh my god, that's cool.
Looking inside,
because I'm like, what's
all of a sudden she takes the scarf from him and puts it on her, and she opens up herself, and you can see her pull the sword out of that. Yeah. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I thought that was super. That was super cool. But also, what she said too, where when they first came in, and he was like, or she was like, "Oh, what happened?" And then the helper guy that came with her, he's like, "Oh, he was at the Mayfair watch." Oh, that's what
Samir. He says, well, he's watching one of the Mayfair Witches. He's like, why do we keep on sending all of our people to die around that family? Like that line. That was so awesome.
But she was definitely dressed up in more like Indian kind of
definitely
like Hindu robes or something like that.
Yep. Her and Samir, both of them. They look like they're very, very Hindu like.
Her for sure. Him, I'm not sure because he was just in a suit, right?
No,
I remember. Because I mean, I really saw her. That was the first time we saw her, and I was interested in her right away. I was like, oh, okay, because him we've seen before, But yeah, that because I'm like, oh, is this like a worldwide group that protects? Like
that's what Sip always called him. He always said that that's what they do. They go around just saving people, and they protect all magic, and they watch over certain magical beings to make sure they're okay. And but that was another interesting thing that they brought up in the show was that Sip is not the first one to fall in love with a Mayfair witch.
Yeah. I forgot. Oh, what was his name? But it was also interesting. It's like, was he a go? Because he said like he was stuck in the house. Yep. And I think it was Antha.
He said, whatever you do,
the grandmother.
Whatever you do, don't die in the house. So the one who jumped over the balcony, the one who actually jumped off the balcony, is the one that fell in love with somebody.
Yeah, with another guy that wasn't Lasher, and it was. I think her name was Antha. Could be wrong, but I know it was the grandmother of Rowan. Mm-hmm. And and then they saw each other, so I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So and this guy's like, oh, what do you say? He goes, oh, he doesn't like that.
Yeah, he doesn't like
somebody else.
Oh, you fell in love with her. He doesn't like that. Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, your spirit gets stuck in the house? I'm like, how many spirits are in this house now? Like, there's so many questions I have,
and that's what's so good. When we found out Ball was a ghost, I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah,
she's a ghost all this time.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then looking forward to seeing that she's got to become a full Mayfair witch. That's interesting too. So the rest of those people that were all at the party at the funeral got to accept her, and she has to learn about that. That's going to be nuts.
Yeah. I'm after this episode, I'm more interested in this show Man, the first one was good. I thought it wasn't a great pilot. It was a good pilot, and then 2, 3, and 4 were just kind of like all of the same. You know what I mean? Like I feel like all of those were just like, who am I? Where am I from? Who am I?
Yeah, and but the end of that the 3 when her mother just slit the throat, slit that. I was what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. I mean, even the end of 4 when he gets stabbed was great too.
But that's what they do. And they're like, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right at the end. Yeah. But this whole episode, I liked it from start to beginning.
What character is your favorite character so far?
Man, I don't know. I like Sip. I like Sip because he's gonna be interesting.
He's reserved, he's powerful, but he's very measured. And he's still going, even though he knows the danger, he's still going after that. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
But Cortland could be the wild card, man.
Yeah. I think he's gonna be working with Lasher, and Lasher hasn't showed how bad he is yet. I feel like we're kind of rooting for him. We're like, oh, he's not that bad, right? I mean, he wants to kill Carlotta because she's also kind of bad.
And we're gonna find out he's like the devil. He's the devil incarnate, and we still know that.
Yeah, there's gonna be something that happens that's when you realize, like, oh, he is the baddest guy. Like that's it, So, but I feel that's gonna be like towards the end of the season. But I do like Lasher. He's kind of interesting. There's a lot of interesting characters, but no one that's like I'm really attached to yet. Like even like Rowan, you're supposed to be attached to her, and I'm just kind of like, okay, what
she's just
what else we got?
She does so many whole things. It's so.
Like I said, she's the dumbest doctor ever.
That doesn't make any sense. He was like, well, how about you look inside of me before you just go ahead and cut me open?
Yeah.
Like what doctor wouldn't know? Especially you have these powers where you can go inside and look inside of people's bodies. Why wouldn't you do that first? She just does so many questionable, stupid things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when she you got rid of Sip and it was just her and Lasher. Like she's falling for Lasher. Like no one thinks it's really creepy that you were with my mother, my grandmother, my great grandmother, and she didn't find that creepy at all. Like she just, oh, that's cool too. What?
Yeah.
What?
So she's like, oh, I get it. Like ew. Yeah, that's kind of weird. So yeah, Cortland told her basically like, oh yeah, he's every woman in your bloodline. So, and actually, the thing I'm the most interested in are these intros that they do with the flashbacks to like way back in the day kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm the most interested in. I'm like, just do a whole episode of that. Like, I want to know what's going on there, and I feel like that's going to set something big up. Oh, yeah. Right at the end.
We only got 3 episodes left.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. So we only got 6, 7, and 8.
Okay.
It's really bad when your lead actress is not compelling at all. I'm not attached to Rowan at all. I'm not either. I mean, besides her looking pretty, like, oh man, you're really nice looking.
Yeah. I'm interested in what is going to happen and what like her powers a little bit, but I'm not not how I was. I know it's hard to compare it to interviews,
you can say Louis, Lestat. You can say all of them.
Claudia, for me, Claudia.
I'm more interested in Daniel than I am in Rowan.
Yeah,
Daniel's just a dude, a random dude on the side, but I'm more interested in him than Rowan right now. So yeah, the story might bring me back because I am interested in Sip. I'm interested in what Cortland's going to be. I'm interested in Carlotta. I'm interested in Lasher.
Well, Carlotta, I don't know about anymore.
She's still going to be there though. So something because if you die in the house, you don't really die. And I don't know if that means on a property. I don't know if Carlotta's still going to be there, like with her sister as a ghost. I don't know what's going to happen, but I feel like she's still going to be there.
Yeah.
Deidre is gone because she died outside the house, but Carlotta's died right there. And Carlotta's still going to be part of the witches and.
But she died outside the house. So how's that? Because remember that was like that's your way out of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's what she was trying to tell Rowan. It's like, oh, this is the right thing to do. Like, leave the house. I don't know. There's a lot of questions. Xavier said, with 3 episodes left, hopefully things will pick up. The previews look like they will. But trailers can't be deceiving, so you never know.
So who knows what's really going to happen? But it looks great. It makes sense. I'm interested to see if whatever the guy's name was, Keith or whatever. I think that was the guy's name. That Sipsaw. Like, is his story going to mean more to us?
Yeah. Well, now that this is the first time they talked about the grandmother. Pretty much the entire series so far. Yep. So like now she's kind of playing an important character. So I think we're gonna get a lot of lore. We already got a lot of lore with the family in that like 5-minute, 10-minute scene, and now that it looks like they're coming back in the next couple episodes. I think we're gonna get a bunch more lore. Yeah. Which I'm all in for.
The thing that makes me think Carlisle's not dead. Like she's dead, but she's gonna be a ghost is because, but whatever that guy named Keith, whatever, he was calling out for the grandmother, right? So I think she's still in the house.
You
know what I'm saying? So I think if she's still in the house, and Carlisle's still in the house, so even though you died on this property, you're still out here on the property, and they can commune with you. And that's what I think they're gonna teach you. They're gonna teach you how to commune with the other witches. And she's going to understand who she is as part of this family.
Or I could also see it like he keeps calling out to her because she's upstairs, but she can't come because she's not up there anymore. You know what I mean?
But she also could be stuck outside.
She could be stuck. Yeah. Yeah. So, but this is what I want. Like, I want a show that gave me good questions.
Yeah.
Like all I got was like, her powers. Like, what about her powers? But now it's like there's the whole Mayfair Witches. It's just not about Rowan. Like I want to know more about the house, about the family, like who died in the house, and like the ex-lovers, that Lasher was jealous of. Like now there's all these questions. Now we only got 3 episodes. I didn't know we had 3 episodes left.
Yeah,
that sucks. Because now I'm finally really getting into it. I'm like, okay, I don't love the show yet. But for me, this episode really, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm actually looking forward to next week's episode.
But if they do these next 3 episodes well, we're going to be like starving for season 2. If they do it well,
yeah. So if they keep it going, I like this one. It was good. What about you? How did you like it, or was it kind of more of the same?
I thought I liked it, but I've liked episode 3 just as much as I like this one.
Okay.
The chase between, it's going to see her mother, what's going on, all that, the Deidre stuff. I liked that. And then I like this episode 4. I was like, okay. Because I was like, why the hell sleeping on her already? None of that stuff made sense. This made more sense, for them. This is on their mind. It was kind of set up because that's what she wants. And Lasher just does what she wants. What she really wants inside. Not the lies of what you tell yourself, but what she really, who she really is. I think that's what we're going to find out. That Lasher really just insinuates what you really want. So,
yeah, that's good. And Xavier said, "I'm more interested in the lore and the other family members." Yeah. And I hope that's what that's why I liked episode 3. Not 3, 4, right?
Before with the funeral.
Before this one, with the funeral. That's why I like that one, because we got a lot of lore. We got a lot of the other Mayfair witches that actually, so that's why I like that one too.
You realize there's a lot of them.
Yeah, and not all of them have powers. Like Cortland doesn't have any kind of powers, so I think it's all the women that have the main power.
That bloodline that controls the house.
Yeah,
and I want to know how Carlotta got in control of the house.
Yeah. So. Good questions, man. Good questions, and I'm finally like here for it. It just took half of the season. Sucks.
Exactly. It's like why take 4 episodes to get here?
Yeah. So, but anything else you might have forgot with this episode?
I think that's basically what we got. We talked about Keith. We talked about the grandmother. We talked about the jumping over the balcony. We talked about Lasher. Talked about her being in the basement. That was kind of freaky. How come she didn't finish the thing? She didn't finish, and how was she able to open the door just when she finally concentrated on opening the door? Once again, was that Lasher setting her up, or is Lasher really telling her the truth? It's only about what you really truly want.
Yeah.
And then where is she going to go? Is she going to Sip? Where's Sip going? Is Sip going to her right now? Why is his sister so dead on him not going back to that girl? Going back to Rowan.
Yeah. Well, I think that was pretty easy, right? Because she's like, oh, as soon as he said a Mayfair house, she was like, why are you there? Like everyone in New Orleans knows, like, you do not go to that house, so that's kind of interesting. But even the last shot, I thought the last shot was really cool, with her walking out and just kind of like everyone, like, it just seemed like she's not fully realized, but I think she knows she could do some bad shit, and I think she's going out to the world, which is kind of scary.
She ain't got no shoes on.
That's true.
Don't mess with no woman walking out of a house with no shoes on, and like
in a nice fancy dress,
and kind of just looking like she's kind of like on a different world, a different planet. You don't want something. Yeah. I keep on walking. I go across. You know how you see people, they talk about that trope where women walk across the street when they see a big black guy. I'm a big black guy. I see a scary white woman walking towards me with no shoes on. I'm going the other way. Oh no, that's not good. I'm going over here. It's like when you see that Chris Rock special where he was talking about, if I see a little white girl in front of me, scared, like walk, no clothes, no shoes on. He's like, you run the exact other way because that's nothing good for me. That's what I see. When I see Rowan walking towards me with no shoes on, I'm running the exact other way. Nope, not today. Stay, Satan.
Literally, right? Oh man, yeah, that's funny. All right, but yeah, so that's pretty much our thoughts for this episode of Mayfair Witches. Hold on, I know Xavier bringing one.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, what is the next show you guys want to see adapted in the Anne Rice universe?
Lestat, the Vampire Lestat. That's all. That's all I'm caring about. That's
all I understand
care about getting.
I think, yeah, because I know, I don't know too much of like the stories. I know there's a vampire story. I know there's the witch story, which we got both of those. I also know there's a werewolf story.
You also Queen of the Damned. You know that you got Queen of the Damned.
Yeah, that's all the Vampire Chronicles.
Yeah,
and I think we're gonna get hopefully a majority of that storyline. And then there's the witch storyline, and I know Anne Rice made a werewolf storyline. Besides
I'm not worried about the storylines because I mean, we're going to have
our shows.
Interview with a Vampire 2 season 2, so we're going to get that.
Yeah, that second part.
Yeah, and then but I'm saying the Vampire Lestat is the one we really need to begin because that's the whole point of even doing any of this stuff is by getting to that.
Yeah.
And I think Sam Reed is perfect. He's so good. Oh my!
He loves the character. So yeah. Those are great. Yeah, I can't wait to get that. Vampire Lestat I think is gonna be so good. That could be some really really amazing TV if it's done right. Obviously, the acting's there. They care about it. The Queen of the Damned. I would love to see Queen of the Damned.
If you do it right.
Book.
The problem with Queen of the Damned when we did that movie first, it's like they rushed it and wasn't great acting. It just seemed
like the story was all over the place. I felt like I couldn't, like, I don't say I couldn't follow it. I just felt like you said, rushed. So when you rush a story, it tends to skip a lot and be everywhere. So.
You have opportunity with doing a show like this, then you can actually get into a lot more detail. You can explain where things came from. Explain how she became who she is, where this lore is coming from, how it's connected to the Interview with the Vampire series.
Yeah.
Those things are going to be really important. If you could do those things well, that's going to be good too.
Yeah. They can hit some home runs with the vampire stuff for sure. And if they find a way to connect the Mayfair Witches with Interview, that in a good way that makes sense, they can knock it out of the park there as well. But that'd be. I feel like it'll be a loose crossover. Like it won't actually like mingle, like fully mingle. I feel, but like, and here's like an episode where he's with her and he helped her in a small way, kind of thing. Yeah,
I mean, it's. I think what's going to happen is the whole Mayfair Witches is they're going to use it to be the reason why they brought Lestat here. Why they brought Lestat to New Orleans. I think that's what it's going to be. Not even trying to go off the book, but go more just off the way they're going in this TV show. So like all this story is what brought him here, and then he fell in love on his way to figure out what's going on. Hearing about the supernatural stuff here.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I like that. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of space. I think obviously with interview they changed a lot already, but changes don't mean bad. You know what I mean? Like the changes they did with that were really really well done. So.
Yeah. I love all the changes so far, so I'm all for it. And there's gonna be some people that love the books. There's gonna be some people that love that first movie that just don't want to see the change. But as long as it adds to the story, like we talked about Last of Us, as long as it adds to the story and it's a take away from the story, then do a change, add to it, give us more depth. This is an opportunity when you have a TV show to give depth to all the characters and to the storyline. So give it to us.
Exactly. Hey, great question, Xavier. But cool. That is it for this episode. If you're watching live, stick around. We're gonna talk about some other stuff. If you're watching on replay, we appreciate it. Thank you. Hit that sub button. We're on our way to 1,000 subs. Hit that like button so we know you like what we're doing. And I just want to say thank you for everybody, and make sure you check us out live as well. And for the month of February, real quick, we're doing a bunch of stuff for February. So we're doing we're doing our Black Excellence in Cinema. And this time we're going to bring on a bunch of guests with us. So I'm going to do it every Monday and Wednesday. We're going to have a movie of a
movie review we were talking about. We're reviewing, we're talking about it and how it's important to us and what has it done for Black cinema. So I mean, we'll do that at least twice a week. If not more, if we could do a couple more, we will. But it was important for us to get at least 8 out for this month. And it's not about just only focus about Black cinema only in February, but it's about using February as a jumping board to show how much excellent Black cinema is actually out there, so we can really talk about it during other months. So that's kind of the idea behind it.
Yep, good. So there's that, and also leading up to the Oscars, we're going to do a live show on Fridays, starting this Friday, and we're just going to talk about some of the Best Picture nominations, and also have some guests come on and talk about that as well. So it's gonna be a fun month. It's gonna be a super fun month with that. I'll put a link to the playlist from our videos for last year's Black Excellence in Cinema movies that we did.
You
was super fun.
The Last Dragon.
Yeah, I might have watching that like a few weeks ago because so it's
Bruce Leroy, my favorite. Show me,
such a good bad guy. But cool. But thank you guys for watching live again. Stick around, but we will see you guys in the next video.
Thanks, guys.
Later.